playground or another as a pitcher and an outfielder. Mike Calden arrived at Watertown High School as an unknown, but he didn't stay that way for long. The Raiders needed pitching, and with the great ace Lefty McHugh having been declared ineligible when he turned 19, Coach Dan Sullivan figured he'd take a look at the new guy. And in Mike's first game against Durfee of Fall River, Sullivan figured he'd aim to get 3 innings out of his starter. Instead, Mike Calden pitched a complete game shutout, complete with 12 strikeouts. That performance was echoed and amplified as the season continued. Mike won his next game against Winthrop with another shutout. The game against Brighton, he relieved the struggling starter in the second and fanned 12 to pick up the win, adding 3 hits for good measure. Against Athol, the defending state runners-up, he fanned 12 more in a 4-1 win. And against state champion Brockton, Mike took a no-hitter in the 8th inning, adding a key RBI before finishing with a 2-hitter and a 3-1 win. That junior year, the 1939 team, one of Watertown's greatest, star-studded with such greats as Oscar Kadarian, George Jankowski, Bill Kearns, Matty Keefe, Fred Antonelli, got off to a 13-1 start en route to a berth in the state championship game at Fenway Park. The Boston papers dubbed Mike's pitching the pitching sensation of the year. He wound up with 8 wins and a 2.41 earned run average, striking out 90 in 74 innings. Boston Post dubbed him a youngster who came out of the blue to skyrocket into the limelight as one of the most promising mound men in years at Watertown. He was a Globe and Post first-team All-Scholastic, lauded for his ability to put across that where-is-it ball and get the strikeout when it was most needed. Coach Sullivan had expected the 1939 season to begin a series of character-building years. Instead, Mike Calden showed up, and those were the glory days of Watertown baseball. Indeed, in 1940, Mike would repeat as an All-Scholastic and have another outstanding year for a 20-4 team. Over the summers, Mike pitched for the Watertown Independents of the Greater Waltham Twilight League, and he continued to impress. Threw a no-hitter against the Notre Dame of Cambridge, losing a perfect game on a lone 7th-inning walk. In the league's All-Star game, he struck out an astounding 9 batters in 3 innings. He also was an outstanding performer on the gridiron. Just as he was so surprised to baseball fans that he'd made his debut in that sport in the spring to become an All-Scholastic pitcher, he was a sensation to more than 3,000 football fans as he brought Watertown High School from behind in the 1939 first game against St. Mary's of Waltham. In his first Scholastic football game, he threw 11 pass completions. After graduating from Watertown High, Mike joined the Air Force during the Second World War as a mechanic on the European front. Currently, he lives in Tiverton, Rhode Island, having retired there after 35 years with the telephone company. As his old battery mate and Hall of Famer, George Jankowski, recalls, Mike made it a pleasure to be a catcher. He had a great curve and he had a blazing fastball, a good pitcher who made the team look good. Mike was more than good, and so the Hall of Fame is happy to bring him back to his old haunts to reward him Hall of Fame status. Welcome back, Hall of Famer Mike Calden, class of 1940.
Good evening. Obviously, I'm not Mike. My name is Kevin Calden. I'm Mike's nephew. I forgot my speech. Mike had it. I guess. On behalf of my family and my Uncle Mike, we would like to thank the Hall of Fame for inducting them. It's a great honor. Thank you, Bob, for saying about the South Side. It means a lot to us. And thank you very much.